In this module, we are going to learn Mundell-Fleming model under fixed exchange rate. The important economic goals or the objectives of the nation are internal and external balance. Internal balance refers to the full employment with price stability. External balance refers to equilibrium in the balance of payments. Government can use a number of policies to influence employment and the balance of payment. These policies can be categorized as expenditure changing policies, expenditure switching policies, direct controls. Expenditure changing policies are those that change the level of economic activity generally taken to be the level of price or the level of the GDP by managing aggregate demand. Expenditure changing policies include fiscal and monetary policies. Fiscal policies is the use of the spending and taxing functions of government. An expansionary fiscal policy is one that raises aggregate demand by lowering taxes or increasing government spending. Similarly, a contractionary fiscal policy decreases aggregate demand by rising taxes or decreasing government expenditure. Monetary policy is the management of the quantity of a country's money supply by the central bank of that nation. An expansionary monetary policy is one that raises the money supply. An increase in money supply will decrease the interest rate, which increases borrowing for spending. The increased spending rises aggregate demand and the equilibrium level of output. Expenditure switching policy is a change in the exchange rate. Currency depreciation switches spending by both domestic and foreigners from foreign goods to domestic goods. By raising domestic spending, depreciation of currency will also offset some of its own effects on the trade balance because part of the increased spending will go to imports. Direct controls include tariffs, quotas and other trade barriers as well as exchange controls and wage and price controls. After starting this module, you shall be able to analyze the policy instruments to achieve the objectives of internal and external balance, the concepts of IS and LM curve, understand the Mundell-Fleming model, examine the ways to reach internal and external balance with fixed exchange rate. Let us begin by analyzing Swan diagram. The Swan diagram demonstrates how expenditure switching and expenditure changing policies can be used to achieve simultaneous internal and external balance. On vertical axis, exchange rate is represented. An increase in R refers to a devaluation and decrease in R refers to revaluation. In horizontal axis, domestic expenditure or absorption is shown. Points on EE curve refers to external balance. EE curve is positively sloped because higher R due to devaluation improves nation trade balance and must be matched by an increase in real domestic absorption. At point F on EE, which is a point of external balance, imagine an increase in expenditure to point G. An increase in expenditure will raise income and through MPI, marginal propensity to import will also increase the imports, producing the balance of payment deficit at point G. To restore the external balance and to eliminate the deficit, R will have to increase from point G to H, that is depreciation of dollar, in order to increase exports and reduce imports. Any point to the right of EE indicates an external deficit and any point to the left indicates external surplus. The line YY is indicating the internal balance or the level of full employment with no inflation. For simplicity, it is assumed that inflation only occurs when output is above the level of full employment. Any point to the left of YY indicates unemployment and any point to the right of YY indicates inflation. The four possible regions in the diagram are as follows. Zone 1, external surplus and internal unemployment. Zone 2, external surplus and internal inflation. Zone 3, external deficit and internal inflation. Zone 4, external deficit and internal unemployment. At point F, there is both internal and external balance. Any other point will require an expenditure changing or expenditure switching body to achieve simultaneous internal and external balance. Consider point C, which is on EE line but below YY line. So there is external balance but unemployment. In order to achieve point F, both types of policies are required. If only fiscal policy is used to raise expenditure to decrease unemployment, then increased income will cause more imports, producing an external deficit. So the expenditure increasing policy must be accompanied by a devaluation of the domestic currency and increase in R in order to achieve the internal and external balance. We will discuss Mundell-Fleming model. Mundell-Fleming model is an economic model first set forth by Robert Mundell and Marcus Fleming. The model is an extension of ISLM model. The Mundell-Fleming model is also known as ISLM-BP model. The traditional ISLM model deals with economy under closed economy, whereas Mundell-Fleming model describes the small open economy. The IS curve shows the various combination of interest rate I and national income Y that results in the equilibrium in the goods market. The goods market is in equilibrium whenever the quantity of goods and services demanded equals the quantity supplied for injections equals the quantity supplied or injections are equal to savings. I plus X is equal to S plus M. Savings S and imports M are positive function of increase in the level of national income, and the investment I is inversely related to the interest rate. The nation's export X, government expenditure G and the taxes T are taken to be exogenous. The IS curve is negatively sloped because at lower interest rates the level of investment is higher, which increases the national income and also induces a higher level of saving and imports. Thus, equilibrium is restored when change in investment is equal to change in savings and change in imports. The LM curve shows the various combinations of interest rates I and national income Y at which the demand for money is equal to the given and fixed supply of money, which we call equilibrium in money market. The LM curve is inclined positively because the higher the rate of interest I, the smaller the quantity of money demanded for the speculative purposes. The BP line shows the combinations of income Y and the interest rate I for which there is an external balance. The BP curve is positively inclined because higher rates of interest lead to a greater capital inflows and must be balanced with higher level of national income and imports for the balance of payments to remain in equilibrium. It is described to show how a nation can use fiscal and the monetary policies to achieve both internal and external balance without change in exchange rate. The working of ISLM and BP curve. In figure, all the markets are in equilibrium at point E where IS, LM, BP curves cross at interest rate I equal to I and national income Y is equal to YE, which is less than the full employment level YF. At I is equal to I star, the level of national income is YF. To the left of FE curve, the nation has balance of payment surplus and to the right a balance of payment deficit. The more responsive international short-term capital flows are to changes in the interest rate. The flatter is the BP curve, but BP curve is drawn on the assumption that exchange rate is constant. So BP curve does not shift. Now we will discuss Mundell-Fleming model and fixed exchange rate. Fiscal and monetary policies from external balance and unemployment. An expansionary fiscal policy in the form of an increase in government expenditure or the reduction in taxes shifts the IS curve to the right, so that at each rate of interest, the goods market is in equilibrium at a higher level of national income. On the other hand, contractionary fiscal policy shifts the IS leftwards. An easy monetary policy, that is increase in the nation's money supply, shifts the LM curve rightwards, whereas a tight monetary policy shifts the LM curve leftwards. Here we are assuming that exchange rate is fixed, so monetary and fiscal policies will not directly affect the BP curve. So the BP curve does not shift, that is remains unchanged. This situation is explained with the help of figure. Next, we will discuss fiscal and monetary policies from external balance and unemployment. With easy monetary policy, there is a shift in LM curve to the right which crosses the unchanged IS curve at point U. But at point U, the interest rate I dash is less than I, and so with low interest rate, the capital inflow is reduced, and so balance of payment is in deficit position. So now the nation could reach full employment level of national income by expansionary fiscal policy that shifts IS curve to right so as to cross the point A. At point A, the interest rate is higher than at point E, so that worsened trade balance is accompanied by an increased capital inflow. However, this increased capital inflow or reduced outflow is not sufficient to avoid a deficit in the nation's balance of payment, as point A is to the right of the BP curve. To reach the full employment level of national income of YF and to have equilibrium in its balance of payment, the nation should follow the stronger expansionary policy that shifts IS curve to point B on the BP curve. This resulted in increase in nation's interest rate to I double dash. So the two policies, that is an expansionary fiscal policy and a tight monetary policy, are required for the nation to reach internal and external balance simultaneously. Next we will discuss fiscal and monetary policies from external deficit and unemployment. A country with domestic unemployment and an external deficit can achieve both internal and external balance simultaneously with the appropriate expansionary fiscal policy and tight monetary policy. This is explained with the help of figure. The IS and LM curve intersects at point E, but BP curve is not intersecting at this point of equilibrium. So only the domestic economy is in equilibrium at interest rate I dash and income YE. Here, the nation faces a deficit in its balance of payment position because point E is to the right of point A. Starting from the point E, where the domestic economy is in equilibrium with unemployment and a balance of payment deficit, the nation can reach the full employment level of output YF by using expansionary fiscal policy that shifts IS curve to the right to IS dash and the tight monetary policy that shifts the LM curve to the left to LM dash. Now all the three markets are in equilibrium at point F, where IS curve and LM curve cross the unchanged BP curve. So the nation achieved the external and internal balance with increased interest rate at I star. Next we will discuss fiscal and monetary policies with perfect capital mobility. When the capital is perfectly mobile, a small change in the domestic rate brings large flows of capital. The BOP is said to be in equilibrium with the domestic interest rate equals the world rate. If the domestic interest rate is lower than the world rate, there will be large capital outflows in order to see better rates abroad. On the other hand, if the domestic rate of interest is higher than the world rate, large capital inflows would bid the domestic rate of interest down to its initial level. The policy implications of perfect mobility under expansionary monetary policy is shown in figure. In OX axis, the national income, and on OY axis, interest rate is shown. The BP curve is drawn horizontally because even the slightest change in the interest rate will lead to infinitely large capital flow. If the domestic interest rate is above OR, capital flows into the country, and if it is below OR, capital flows out of the country. Point T is the initial equilibrium level where IS, LM, BP curves intersect. This point determines the equilibrium level of income OY and the interest rate OR. Suppose point YF is the full employment income level which the economy wants to attain. The point E determines that the economy is not at full equilibrium level. If the monetary policy starts with an expansionary monetary policy, by increasing the money supply, it will shift the LM curve to LM1 which intersect the IS curve at E1 and the interest rate falls to OR1. So, it will lead to outflow of capital. Since the price of foreign exchange is fixed, the monetary authority will finance the outflow of capital by selling foreign exchange. The sales of foreign exchange will decrease the money supply and so LM1 curve will shift upward to its original position of the LM curve. Thus, monetary policy can said to be ineffective under the scenario of fixed exchange rates and perfect international capital mobility in maintaining the internal balance. The expansionary fiscal policy has the effect of raising the income level by international capital mobility, which is shown in figure. Suppose the government expenditure is increased to achieve full employment level of income OYF. This shifts the IS curve to the right to IS1 which intersects the LM curve at E1. This causes the interest rate to rise to OR1 and the income level to fall to OY1. The rise in interest rate leads to large inflows of capital from abroad. This increases the money supply with the rise in foreign reserves, thereby shifting the LM curve to the right to LM1. This LM1 intersects the IS1 at point E2 where at the fixed exchange rate full employment income level OYF is reached. So, fiscal policy by increasing the money supply raises aggregate demand, income and employment. Thus, under perfect capital mobility and the fixed exchange rates, fiscal policy is effective in maintaining internal balance rather than monetary policy. Now, let us summarize what we have learned in this module. Mundell-Fleming model analyzed the role of monetary and fiscal policies in an open economy. This model is called the Keynesian open economy model. This approach analyzes the relationship between two instruments and two targets. The two instruments are monetary policy, which is represented by the interest rate, and fiscal policy represented by the government expenditure. According to Mundell-Fleming model, the nation can achieve internal and external balance simultaneously by the appropriate expansionary fiscal policy and tight monetary policy without changing the exchange rate. With perfect capital mobility and a horizontal BP curve, monetary policy is completely ineffective and the nation can reach internal and external balance with the appropriate fiscal policy alone with fixed exchange rate.